What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns welcoming you to another episode of my Discuss series. In this series, we discuss things in Grand Theft Auto Online, other games, gaming in general, whatever topic I or you bring up worthy of discussing, we will discuss it. By the way, if you do have a suggestion for a future Discuss episode, whether it revolves around Grand Theft Auto Online or another game, etc., feel free and send it my way, and you can do so either below in the comment section. You can tweet your Discuss topic to me, as well as message me via the Facebook page, or you can email me anytime, GeauxBurns@gmail.com. Today we are discussing Pegasus in Grand Theft Auto Online. It's probably your favorite service, right? You love Pegasus so much. I love Pegasus. That's why we're going to talk about it, because there's so many issues that Pegasus have. And I've come up with a nice little list of things I think could be fixed that would dramatically improve the Pegasus system. Now, what is Pegasus? Pegasus is the service you have in Grand Theft Auto Online when you want to call up various militarized vehicles like buzzards, annihilators, savages, Valkyries, Hydras, tanks, insurgent pickups, technicals, a turreted limo, as well as aircraft, boats, monster trucks, and almost any other vehicle that falls into the Pegasus category. You call it Pegasus, and they will spawn these vehicles that you have purchased through Warstock or Elitist, for example. And there are some obvious issues. For one thing, despawn. Now, I can't tell you how many times I will be driving up to a tank or to my Hydra, and then all of a sudden, magically, it despawns on me. Another thing that irks me is the fact that friends and crew are apparently not allowed to use your Pegasus vehicles, and you're not allowed to use their Pegasus vehicles. So if I want to allow one of my friends to try out the Savage, jump into it, fly around on their own, they can't. They fly off a certain distance, and all of a sudden, the plane, the helicopter, the vehicle locks up, and Pegasus says they're reclaiming the vehicle. And I think as long as, it's a friend or a crewmate, that shouldn't really be an issue. Some other concerns I have is the limited spawn locations for land vehicles. I kind of understand it when it comes to air vehicles, like helicopters, planes, and jets. I get that. But land vehicles, I think there needs to be more spawn locations. And of course, the lack of categories, no customization option for most of the Pegasus vehicles, with a few exceptions like the Marshall Monster Truck. And finally, we don't have a sell option. So let's get into this, shall we? First off, as I mentioned, I really would like for there to be more spawn locations. Very similar to how the VIP system works. If you're a VIP, and if you own a buzzard, you can call in a buzzard through the VIP system, and it actually appears no matter where you are, like within a few feet of you. You don't have to go to a helipad. You don't have to go to a heliport to pick up a buzzard. And honestly, I think the VIP system is way better. And I really wish that Rockstar would use what they created in VIP as a means of rebuilding the Pegasus system. And I get the whole idea of not having like planes or jets. Helicopters and Hydras is different, because you can actually just take them off without needing a runway to do so. But when it comes to helicopters like the Buzzard, Annihilator, Valkyrie, Savage, or the Hydra, it should be able to spawn almost anywhere. The same should also be the case for the tanks, insurgent pickups, technicals, and turreted limos. Boats another issue, obviously, because the only way that boats will function is on the water. But I think as long as you're near a body of water, it should spawn right beside you. So if you're at Vespucci Beach and you call up Pegasus for your speeder boat, it should spawn in the water a few feet away from you instead of over at the dock. That's just what I think the spawn system should be. A little bit more fleshed out without these limitations when it comes to most of the Pegasus vehicles, obviously with the exception of planes and jets. Now, I already touched on the fact that I want Pegasus vehicles to be open to friends and crewmates to be usable as well. So if I called up a Savage or my tank or any other Pegasus vehicle. It should work very similar to the vehicle access for your personal rides in the game. You decide who is allowed to use your Pegasus vehicles, whether it's friends, crews, passengers only, or everybody. And obviously, you would also have the option to allow nobody access to your Pegasus vehicles. I think that would be a better solution than the current system in place, in which you have to be the pilot, or at least you have to be in the vehicle, or else no one else can have access to it, even if they happen to be a friend or crewmate. The next place I think could use some improvements when it comes to Pegasus vehicles is in the customization. Now, I'm not expecting it to go to the level of Benny's Customs or even Los Santos Customs when it comes to Pegasus rides, but it would be nice if at the very least you could pick which colors you wanted on your tank, your helicopter, your planes, your boats, etc. Even if there was only like a few options, say like 5 or 10 different paint jobs you could pick from, that's better than nothing. And that way you could have like all your military vehicles stealth black looking, like a black tank, black Hydra, a black Savage. That would be awesome looking. And if you've ever done a race with a Hydra or a Buzzard or any other aircraft, be it helicopters, planes, or jets, you already know that you can pick the different paint jobs for your Hydra, your Besra, etc. in races. So why don't we have the same ability to decide what paint job we want on our Pegasus vehicles? Similar to the yacht setup. When you go into the yachts, you can pick the exterior paint job. There should be like a Pegasus site that allows you to go in and select a vehicle and decide what paint job you want to have on that particular ride. Now, along with different paint jobs, skins, liveries, wraps, I would also like to see an upgrade option on this so-called Pegasus site when it comes to the Pegasus vehicles. For example, the ability to put explosive ammo cannons on Besras, or upgrade the Annihilator and Buzzard to have explosive ammo, changing the Rhino tank from a one-person to a two-person vehicle, because you have that 50 caliber cannon that sits there on the tank, along with a spot for another player to hop in and go to work on the 50 caliber while you're driving around and using the main cannon. I think that would be really cool if we could upgrade the tank to where you could actually have two people instead of one operating it. Then, of course, turning the Duster biplane into a World War I fighter plane with, at the very least, cannons with explosive ammo, various military wraps that you could choose from, and maybe even a payload of bombs you could drop on foes from above as well. That'd be kind of cool because we don't have a military vehicle in the game that drops bombs, but it would be really cool if we had that option for a World War I variant of the Duster in this upgrade section on a Pegasus website. A few other upgrades I will throw out there is the ability to maybe transfer the Mallard into like a World War II fighter plane, kind of like the Rustler from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Similar with the Duster, you know, explosive cannon ammo. Various World War II liveries, similar to what the Slam Van Custom has now, as well as bombs or non-heat-seeking rockets or missiles, because some World War II fighter planes had the ability to fire rockets, but they weren't heat-seeking, so you'd have to kind of sort of try to keep that accurate on the War Mallard, as I'm calling it. Next, of course, is making it to where certain boats could be transformed into PT boats, where they had like a 50 caliber cannon on it, as well as the ability to fire torpedoes at other boats. And I would like for Rockstar to bring over the JB700 from Grand Theft Auto 5 Story. You know, the James Bond car that is on the movie set at Vinewood Studios that you steal as Franklin, that has, you know, some weapons on it. It would just be really fun if that was a Pegasus vehicle as well. The next change I want to see in Pegasus vehicles is something that was brought up in a previous video. I think it was my Pegasus rant video about a year ago from one of my friends on Xbox One, Phoenix, aka Finny Boy. He wanted the ability to have categories on the phone whenever you call Pegasus. For example, whenever you call Pegasus, it's one list of all the Pegasus vehicles that you have, which can be kind of confusing. So what he wants is the ability to have like a boat section, a plane section, helicopters, ground vehicles, military, etc. That way you don't accidentally, you know, pick up a vehicle that you didn't want. Say if you have the Rhino tank right beside a boat, you accidentally click on the boat and you're like, damn it, I wanted the freaking Rhino tank instead of a sailboat. Now, the final change I would like to see made to Pegasus is the big one, the ability to sell unwanted Pegasus vehicles back to Pegasus. And you would be able to do that on this Pegasus website. Now, you wouldn't get all your money back, obviously, maybe 30 to 50% money back, along with the 48-minute cooldown before you are able to sell another Pegasus vehicle. But at the very least, we would finally have the ability to sell unwanted Pegasus vehicles, which would be freaking awesome. Now, I did come up with a bonus idea for improving Pegasus in Grand Theft Auto Online, and this comes from another one of my longtime fans and subscribers, Blood Talks. He posted this a while back in one of my old top 5 videos, or in the Pegasus rant video almost a year ago. I can't remember which, maybe both. But what Blood Talks wanted was the ability to go to the Pegasus hangar at the airport and go inside and manually select which of the Pegasus vehicles you could use. Now, there's obviously a limited amount of room inside of the Pegasus hangar, and there would have to be some work done on it by Rockstar. It'd have to be sealed in to where you would walk into it, similar to how you do the garages. But once you go inside, you would be able to pick and choose like where those Pegasus vehicles would sit inside of the warehouse and which ones you would have on display. This would also serve as an alternative to calling Pegasus. You could just go inside the warehouse and you could select the tank. It would spawn outside of the airport, or the helicopter or jet planes would spawn like right outside of the warehouse, and the boat would spawn like right outside of the airport in the water, obviously. But I thought it was worth mentioning to include the Pegasus warehouse idea from Blood Talks to this discussion video regarding Pegasus. And now I turn over the discussion to you. Which of these ideas did you like? Did you like them all? Did you like some of them? Did you like none of them? And what do you think needs to be done to improve Pegasus in Grand Theft Auto Online?